Everybody, you're here today. This is an accompanying guide to the paper guidance that is available on the Synergy tab in the School and Partnerships team general folder. We're going to be going through some of the functions of Synergy, as well as some of the individual actions that are to be taken by EHCs and SCTMs in terms of allocation. My co-presenter, Carla Nichols, is going to be here talking through each of the sections, and if you have any queries, please refer to the guide.
Okay, so everybody, as you can see, Jen has logged into the system, and this is the view that you will have once you have logged in. We're going to first of all talk through how you search and create people and family groups within the system. So to search for a person, always make sure that you search before you start to add people. Do a couple of searches. So we're going to talk through that, because what we don't want is duplicate people within the system. So first of all, click on Actions and Create Person. Now, this is where you're going to search. So you would search for the surname, which in the system is called family name, first. So add the surname. Then if you have got the first name, add the first name. And now search. Click check the person does not already exist. You can see on the blue tab down the bottom, it says the search has returned no people. I do recommend if you do another search, so let's just check again and add in, if you've now got a date of birth, add the date of birth. You should always search for children in the system rather than adults. This is because children are already imported into the system, so should already be in the system. Some adults will be in the system, but they will have been added manually. So always check for the child first. Then we click check again. So this person does not exist. If you are going to be creating a family group, which in most cases you will be, if you click in the little square, create another person, and now click create, you will see on the left hand side of the screen, the first person's been added, and now we're going to add the next person in the family group. So we do the searching again. And again, it's come back as no people. So now we'll add a date of birth if we have one. So we're confident that person does not exist. So we're going to create another person. And you will see now that we have two people in the left-hand side, which means that they have been added. They have numbers beside their names, which is their system reference number. So you know they have been created. So we'll add one more person into this group. And again, we have nobody returned, so we can add in any other information that we have. Okay, so if that was the last person that you were going to add into the group, if you untick the create another person box and click create, we're now ready to start building the family group. So as you can see at the top blue bar, it says 3 people have no relationship set up. So what we need to do is connect this family by choosing which relationships they have with each other. So we click on the edit button at the top. And now we can start to populate the relationships. So Jen has added the people, so we'll know the relationships. So if it is the parent, as Jen's just clicked on, click on parent. Now, when you click on add, there will be a drop down. You can choose the people from there that are the parents or the child or the aunt or the uncle or whatever relationship it is you're building here. Just click on the name and click add. So that relationship is now saved. So if we can add the relationship for the other people in the group, you go back through, and as you can see, Andy is the sibling of Tom. So when we're happy with that, we click add. And now all relationships have been populated. You can also check in the left-hand column where the names are listed. Previously, you will have seen an exclamation mark beside the name, which meant that there was something missing, which was a relationship that has now disappeared. So everybody has been matched in terms of the relationships to each other. So we click Save Relationship Changes at the top. And we click Save again in the blue box. Now the family relationships have all been saved. So to now move on, what we'd need to do is add some details. As you can see in Tom's box at the top, there is no address details or contact numbers, etc. So to search for the address, click on Search for another address on the blue box. You put your postcode in there that you have for the family. Search again, and you will get the list of addresses for that postcode. So select the house number for this family and click Done. You can now see that is giving you the option to add the address to all of the family members. So if you tick the little box beside each of the members of the family that live at that address, if one of those members of that family do not live at that address, you would not tick the box. You can leave that clear, and you can add a separate address or leave it blank if it's not known. The from date, we would always populate as the date that you're entering the details, because quite simply, we don't know when those families moved into those addresses. So we click today's date, and we now click on change. This will change and add the address to all family members selected. And you can see from the left-hand column, that address has been populated for all members that were ticked. Now, to add a contact details, usually we would add these to the adult in the family. So you select contact details. We click on new telephone number. Apologies, click create new number. You'll then get the red box. You add the telephone number in there. Click create new number. And again, it's asking if you want to add that to anybody else. Usually a phone number would belong to one adult in the family and the other adult would have a different number. So you would add their own personal numbers to their personal records. So There is no need to copy that to the children because clearly the phone number is not belonging to the children. Keep it just to the adults. So now we click change again, and that contact number has been saved to Tom. So you would go through, if you needed to add a phone number, for instance, to Margie, you would click in the left-hand column, click on Margie. In the box, do not click the number, you just click inside the box, and now we are on Margie. So if we wanted to add a phone number for Margie and or an address, if she wasn't at the same address, we would click edit in the top right and go through that process again, adding the address, adding any contact details. When we're happy that we've added all of the details that we need to add for each family members, we've saved their relationship statuses, we're now able to create a family group. So we click on family group, and here you choose which name you want to give to the family group. We advise best practice is to add the surname of the youngest child in the family, rather than create lots of different hyphenated surnames for a family group. If, for instance, people within the group have different surnames, if they've all got the same, that's fairly straightforward. But always go with the surname of the youngest child where there are differing surnames within the family. So in this case, everybody has the same surname, so it's already populated that for us, and we're happy with that. So we click create group. Now, as you can see, it's asking who you want to add to the family group. So you select everybody that you have added. Now click add to group. Now you can see that Margie, in Margie's box, she now has a family group name as well as her own individual group name and number, and has an individual number. So everybody in the system will have an individual number that is for their individual records, and families, family groups have a different number. So you can then check just to make sure that everybody was added. If you wanted to, on the left hand side, you can click in the box for Andy, and you can see that Andy has his own number and a family group number. We do recommend when working in the system, you work in the family group profiles rather than individuals, because this will save you time in terms of adding details to a whole family. If you click on the number, the family group number, when that opens up, you can see the yellow bar. The yellow bar indicates that you are in a family group. Okay, so we have created our first family group. Okay, everybody, so that's how you add a family group from scratch. So if there were a scenario where you went to visit a family or to a meeting and you were talking to the family and there is a member of the family missing from the information that you were given, that could be a sibling, a half sibling, could be an aunt, an uncle, a grandmother, that you wanted to add to the family group, you would click on desktop in the top ribbon, you click family group, you click the blue bar which says search criteria, and you look for the family group name for this family. So the one that Jen did previously was Canvas. So we put Canvas because we know that's what we called the family group name. If you didn't have the group name or you weren't sure, of course you can search by postcode, you can search by a first name, any information you know about the family that you want to add to, you can search by. But for this, we will search by the name, which is Canvas. As you can see, there are two options here for Canvas, meaning there are two families in the system that have a family group name of Canvas. So to check the details, click on the number. That will open in a separate tab. And as you can see, this family actually is not the correct family because it has no members. So we're going to close that because that's not the family that we want. And we're going to select the other Canvas family group by clicking their number. And here we can see this is the family group that Jen set up. This is the correct group that we want to add to. So if we close that view for the moment, we will be back to family group. So you click in the white box around anywhere in there, and we click add people to family group. Make sure in this view that you click people if you haven't already set your default to people. And now search for the person that you want to add. So we're searching for somebody called Andy Pandy, and there he is. Don't click on his number, click in anywhere out away from his number, but in the panel, you will now see his name has appeared. That is who we are adding. If you wanted to add more people to the family group, you could search for somebody else. Select them, and they would then populate down to the bottom. And you would keep doing that for anybody that you wanted to add. When you've got everybody in that bottom row, click Done. You can now see Andy Pandy has been added to this family group. What will not have happened is that Andy will not have any relationships matched to the family members. So in order to do that, you would have to click on Andy's number and click on family maintenance in the left-hand column and set his relationships from there. Okay, so because Andy has no relationships set up, you would come into Andy's profile, into family maintenance, and then click edit in the top right. Now you're going to, some of his family members. So if you click add next to the little person symbol, and now you search for a member of the family. So we know that the surname was Canvas, and we could search for Margie if we wanted to do individual searches. But as long as you can find the family members, if you click add on any one of those, it will bring all the family members, as you can see in the left-hand column, now into the same group. So to save your relationships, we click cancel on the yellow because we've found everybody and everybody has been added. We can now add the relationships as we did before by clicking add in any of the relationship fields. It will give you the option of which individuals you're matching. And then we click add. Okay, so now you can see that those relationships have been saved. So we click Save Relationships again at the top. And save again in the blue panel. So we've managed to now add Andy Pandy into the Canvas family group, and we've formed the relationships that we need to form. So that is how you would add somebody if you knew the family group already exists in the system.